we have Mr. Ravi Rawat, armed with a bachelor's degree from IHM and MBA from Symbiosis. He started his career with Taj Group of Hotels and worked there for 10 years. He has also served in the offices of Executive Assistant Manager and General Manager. He is currently the General Manager of Park Hotel Navi Mumbai. We have with us Mr. Jinesh Shah. He is a computer science and math finance graduate from New York University. He was born and brought up in Mumbai but lived in New York, London and San Francisco for 12 years. For the last 10 years, he led the DG in the plant-based industry. Thank you so much, Purva ma'am. May I now request Ujjwala ma'am to come forward and welcome the rest of the speakers. Well, we have Mr. Kuntal Joisher with us. He combines the distinction of being both an accomplished mountaineer and a high-end computer science professional. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please say that he is the first human in the world to have climbed Mount Everest on a 100% vegan diet. We have with us Mr. Kush Panchal. He is an international acclaimed yoga trainer. Advanced degree in bodyweight training from London.
Come on, Kush.
And also not to forget, he's a personal instructor of many Bollywood and Hollywood celebrities. A warm welcome to you. And lastly, we have with us Mr. Preetam Gupte, an alum of IHM Goa. He embarked on his academic career with ITM College of Hotel Management. He is currently serving as the position of Vice President at Sahila College of Hotel Management. So are we all set? Yes. Thank you so much, Ujjwala ma'am. Let's begin the show. Well, Darshana ma'am, can we please have you here? She is going to tell us about the emergence of veganism as a concept.
Thank you so much for inviting us here, and a special thank you to all the faculty here. They've done an amazing job. I was so impressed with all the research that went into organizing this chat show and the topics that they have come up with in such relevant order. Thank you, Akriti. I think a special thanks to you.
Thank you.
And thank you to the principal and the dean for making this happen. As you all know, I graduated from Dadar Catering, so this is really special for me. So the emergence of veganism is something that I think we should really know how and why, because this is the way forward. I think we've all heard of the word ahimsa, and that concept actually started in India. And it started hundreds of years ago. It's not something new at all for us. But sadly, we moved away from the practice of ahimsa and we followed hinsak practices. And that is really sad because we are, as a whole, compassionate people. There was also a Muslim poet thousands of years ago who wrote a beautiful poem. So it's not only restricted to India. So the concept of ahimsa was there among a lot of knowledgeable people like Einstein and Pythagoras. They all spoke of ahimsa, but they didn't use the word ahimsa. So how did veganism arise in India or around the world now? In 1940, the Vegan Society was formed in England, and they started discussing how to help people understand what ahimsa is or non-violence is. I don't think they were very strong because they were a small group of people, but then later on they realized that having a definition would help. And in 1944, they created this definition. So veganism is a way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So veganism is actually a philosophy of ahimsa. And today I think it's on the rise because of social media, because it's so much easier to connect with one another. So the Vegan Society started off, and then this was in 1944, so it's nothing new. But sadly, it didn't move on fast because we didn't have the technology in those days. Today, it's moving very fast, and knowledge is being shared with everybody. We need to understand what the word vegan means. It doesn't mean anything. What Donald Watson did was, he took the word vegetarian, and he took the first 3 letters and the last 2 letters, and he put them together. That's it. Ahimsa has a meaning, yes, but vegan doesn't really have a meaning. I think it was because vegetarian, the word vegetarian was contaminated because they started using milk and eggs. So he said, no, we need a special word. In actual fact, Shakahari, in India, Shakahari is the actual word for vegan. Yes. And what does Shakahari means? Shak Ahar. So it is plant-based food.
Wow.
Yeah. But sadly, Shakahari the meaning has been contaminated again because it includes dairy and eggs. So we don't really need another word, but we have to. So we should be proud that the concept and the word actually originated in India. So as we go forward, most people go vegan for 3 reasons. And that is compassion for animals. The most number of people that go vegan are those for animals. So they become aware of what is happening to animals and they switch over immediately. And as you become vegan, you automatically start doing research. And then you come across the impact on the environment and human health. And lately, there has been a lot of research done on the psychological aspect. So people like Dr. Melanie Joy and Dr. Claire Mann, they have done a lot of research. And they realize that it is actually a form of oppression, which humans, most people, are forced to accept as something normal. There's a lot of violence in eating animals, right? And if you ask most people, they wouldn't hurt an animal themselves. So 95% people won't hurt an animal, and yet 95% people end up hurting animals when they eat them or eat animal products. And why is this? So this is because, not because we are not compassionate, most people are compassionate, but society conditions us into accepting this as something very normal, natural, and necessary. And that is really sad because as individuals, if as children we were given the choice, we wouldn't be part of this violence. There are more reasons that people go vegan, and that is also like world hunger. So how many human beings are there on this earth? 7.4 billion? And how many animals raised for food? 74 billion.
Wow.
And what do these animals raised for food eat?
Plants.
So what are we using our land and water for? We are using it to grow plants to feed these animals, when 1 million human beings are dying of starvation. And when this information hits people, they realize that their food choices can have a huge impact, not just on animals, but also human beings. Also, people who are involved in these industries, who are butchers or are working in these animal industries, have to shut off their hearts. You cannot be part of this system unless you shut off your heart and mind. And they get traumatized. If you ask any butcher, I've done this, I've actually gone and asked butchers how they felt the first time they killed an animal. They say they don't remember, or if they do remember, they say they didn't like it. And then they just became part of it. And then they just, continue with it. So veganism really impacts a lot of factors. It's not just about food. And you will see these same butchers petting a dog, looking after a cat, and then going and killing an animal. And why do they not remember killing the first time? Because that's a defense mechanism. We just don't want to. So veganism is on the rise and is emerging at such a fast rate because people are becoming aware of all these issues. And I think there is no way going back, because when you become informed, when you get the knowledge, you get empowered to take informed decisions. I won't take any more of your time, but I think we all know that veganism is definitely on the rise. Thank you so much, and I hope that you